Good day and welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name's Tim. I'm the Director of Expedition Sales here at Silversea, and I have the privilege of joining you for the next 20 odd minutes as we take a little bit of a deep dive into the wonderful world of our expedition product and portfolio. But before I do that, I do want to just sort of introduce the brand Silversea very quickly before I dig into that, and I'll start off with a beautiful little video.
Here's to the moment, to ever-changing landscapes, and the once-in-a-lifetime, to breaking new grounds, and having every reason to celebrate, to growing bolder together, to finding more.
Now, I'm not going to spend the next 20 minutes really digging into all of these incredible hallmarks of the brand that have led to the success of our brand now at 31 years old. But I do want to just really bring to life that the synergies and the crossover between our classic and expedition product are an incredible part of our brand and its identity. And obviously, we speak about things like our destination leadership. We go to more than 900 destinations around the world across our two little fleets. But those ships do make up the largest fleet in the luxury cruising space. We have the most modern fleet. We've added 6 of these vessels since coming out of the COVID pandemic in 2020, and it has just been an incredible growth journey that we dig into. But I represent those 4 little expedition ships. I used to work and have been on our product since 2008 as very many different roles, but ultimately as expedition leader with a shoreside role in the operations of our programs, bringing all of these incredible destinations to life for travelers just like you, our guests. Obviously the culinary excellence that's driven a lot of the onboard product has been an important part of it. One of my sort of favorite elements of that entire program is what we call salt, sea, and land taste. Essentially the focus of merging the local culinary experience through both the cuisine and the libations into the onboard product through varying venues to really look at the introduction of those flavors into the day-to-day life of the ship. But we're really here to dig into the expedition product. And I think what I want to start off by that is just framing what the expedition world means. Expedition is considered the fastest growing niche in the cruising industry, but it's about 2 sort of core concepts. We know our guests are traveling with us to these far-flung parts of the world with the underlying layer of wanting to be educated and enriched and feeling like they have a deeper understanding of the destinations that they visited. This takes on multiple different forms. Maybe it's the wildlife or the landscape that's attracting them naturally to the destination. Maybe it's a little bit more focused on cultural or the community elements. But in essence, they're traveling to these beautiful parts of the world to have these enriching and educational experiences. Now, I think really just trying to paint the picture of who Silversea is in that landscape, in the expedition space, is centered on these 4 core pillars, or what we would consider unique selling points. And the first to recognize is we are the brand that has driven a lot of this evolution. We were the first luxury-minded operator to enter into the expedition space in 2008, to really recognize that we had this incredibly loyal clientele that was used to the levels of service and hospitality provided by our incredible shipboard teams, across the suites, across the dining venues, and recognizing that niche wasn't being filled in the expedition space, and our travelers still wanted access to these remote parts of the world. that success has driven a lot of the evolution that the industry has seen, but that evolution has forced us to maintain an innovative approach. It's why we were the first cruise brand to ever go to places like Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. It's why we're building the southernmost hotel in the world, which I'll be touching on. But it's why we as a private company are one of the only companies in the last 100 years that has taken a scouting mission down to Antarctica with the simple intention of finding new landing sites to take our guests to. So a lot of great evolution in that space. But that evolution and that growth wouldn't have been possible if we weren't delivering an incredible product. So we've got that lens of the classic hospitality, driven through your leading crew to guest ratios, space to guest ratios, restaurant to guest ratios, the levels of service that we get on board our ships with that all-inclusive approach. But I think understanding in the expedition industry, one of the best metrics to understand a company's ability to deliver a program in the destination comes through what we call the experience ratios, or simply put, your guide to guest and zodiac to guest ratios. And I'll dig into that. But the other sort of main pillar or concept that has really been a result of our success in the evolution is recognizing that you, the discerning traveler, has got beyond the point of just having these incredible shipboard experiences and then being dumped on the pier at the end of these cruises in the far-flung corners of this planet, with a wish and a prayer and I hope you get home safe. And we focus a lot on elevating, the pre and post cruise elements to make sure that the entire journey, that entire travel experience is meeting and living up to your experiences. So just really to help you understand what those experience ratios mean, in the expedition space, your expedition staff and the zodiacs are how you are interacting with the destination. It's how you're going on your hikes, your kayaking, your zodiac cruising, anytime that we do snorkeling, polar plunging, whatever it is. So this is the team that is facilitating those experiences in the destination. And by benchmarking well above industry requirements or the industry averages, in Antarctica it's about 1:20, we operate at about 1:10. Kind of gives you an indication that we've got double the resources to facilitate your time off the ship and in the destination. Now, this little video is an example of this. This is a place in Australia called the Kimberley. But essentially some of the largest tidal fluctuations anywhere in the world, and being able to get all your guests off the ship simultaneously to get out and explore these destinations is how you get to maximize the amount of time that you're spending in the destination, having the opportunities to fully embrace and explore. Now, expedition is going to mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, and the ability to have the size of team that we do allows us to sort of segment our resources and meet our guests where we are, because we recognize that no two people listening to this are going to have the same interest in studying Darwin's finches for an hour, equally not necessarily in the same ability to walk, hike to the top of the mountain. Maybe you're a little bit more interested in doing the beachcombing walk, etc., as we explore different parts of the world. But I'm just going to play a quick video to introduce a colleague of mine and her role as expedition leader to really bring these incredible products to life.
My name is Marike Egan and I'm the expedition leader. Leading expedition means that I'm responsible for all of the activities that we do outside of the vessel. But for me, it's mainly focusing on offering guests an amazing experience in those remote places and leading a team of 24 expedition staff in how to give that best experience to our guests. A big part of expedition cruising is teaching people about the environment. We have marine biologists on board, we have historians on board, ornithologists on board, so people have an in-depth knowledge on those topics. To share that passion with the guests and then get back that enthusiasm. Yeah, it's a very highly dynamic, highly intense environment, but also extremely rewarding. I love living a little bit in uncertainty sometimes. It makes you feel incredibly alive. There's parts of the world where we don't dictate anything, and we have to work with what nature gives us. The entertainment is not on board, it's outside. And I always, or nearly always, say to the guests, look around you, because that is something that is like nowhere else on earth. It is unique. Embrace the unknown, that is how you will get the best experience.
Now, the final sort of technical element that I really want to just address before digging into some of the incredible destinations that we go to is expedition travel includes so much. I mentioned that we focus on those pre and post elements. Things like our programs to the Galapagos have 2 pre-night hotel stays and the charter flights included. Similarly, on your way down to Antarctica, we start our journey with a hotel night in Santiago, private FBO terminal, private charter flights exclusively for our guests. Then you have that incredible shipboard experience, Wi-Fi gratuities, the butler service across every room category, any meals, beverages that you're looking at, and then everything that's happening on the off-ship experience in terms of the activities that we're providing. And I wanted to point that out because, often people think like, oh, but you get on board the ship and then you still have to pay for all of these additional services. And that's absolutely not the case with us as a brand and as a company. Now, I know I mentioned we go to more destinations than any other company in the cruising industry, but obviously I don't have time to go through all of them. So we have what we break down into then as 4 core regional concepts. We have the Antarctic and the Arctic and the polar regions of the world. Then we have a place called the Kimberley in Australia and an entire season in the South Pacific, going to places like Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Vanuatu, Solomons, Cook Islands, Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, etc. And obviously one of my favorite destinations in the world, the Galapagos. So I'm going to just very quickly start helping you understand the expedition experience via our incredible platform in the Galapagos. This is a purpose-built vessel just to deliver this destination. And the first sort of concept that I want to bring to life is that little boat that you can see there. That is called a Zodiac. Everything happens via that as a platform. This is how you're getting out and exploring, getting access to the landing sites from this incredible vessel. So understanding that this product is purpose-built for this destination, some of the artifacts in those display cases were actually on the HMS Beagle when Darwin visited these islands all those years ago. But this is, without a doubt in my mind, the best possible platform to explore this destination. Some of the leading amenities across all possible metrics, from your guide to guest, Zodiac to guest, space to guest, crew to guests, suite sizes, dining rooms, etc. This really is an incredible platform to show you what makes the Galapagos so unique. Obviously the different species that you find throughout the archipelago, throughout the different islands, from your Galapagos penguin here to your varying marine iguanas, and as we explore the different parts of the archipelago. But looking at that hospitality, this is without a doubt the most awarded property on land or sea in the entire archipelago, and really elevates that incredible experience. It is also a wonderful multi-generational destination. It has an average age of only 45, and that's largely driven by that opportunity for grandparents to take their grandkids to go out and explore this incredible part of the world. But I do want to go to now our sort of mainstay of the season. We're just starting our Antarctic season as I record this, and I want to just bring this to life because this is the most important destination from an operator's perspective in our Antarctic program, or in our global program as Antarctica. And I want to just touch on some of the unique elements about how Silversea delivers this program. First off, we are a Chilean-based operator. There are 2 main departure points. There is the Chilean town of Puerto Williams, as well as the Argentinian town of Ushuaia. We pulled out of Ushuaia a few years ago to make sure that we were really elevating our guest experience. So we start, as I mentioned earlier, with a pre-hotel night stay in Santiago at one of the 5-star properties there, and then transfer out to the private FBO terminal at the Santiago airport for an exclusive charter flight down to either one of our departure points, being Porto Williams, where our sailing program is currently departing from, or for this season, our fly cruise program, which is out of Punta Arenas and then skips the sailing across the Drake Passage to fly guests down to King George Island. And I'll expand on that a little bit as we go. But ultimately, regardless of how you get down to Antarctica, once you're there, you're going to have about a 6-day experience on the continent with multiple different types of shoreside and off-ship activities. This is a very sort of typical landing site. You can see we've got a bit of a flagged route where guests are able to free roam at their own leisure, exploring up to some of the vista and viewpoints, as well as maybe some penguins nesting at a colony nearby. There'll almost invariably be some seals on the shoreside. So we'll have staff positioned at some of these key intersections where guests can then get some interpretation and move around and just savor the incredible landscape. Once down in Antarctica, we're all visiting very much the same areas within the peninsula. We're looking to show you the 3 main penguin species, shown here, the little Gentoo penguins, the chin straps, very aptly named, and then my personal little favorites, the feisty ones down there. These are your Adelie penguins. There's also a number of different seal species down there. Pictured here is your leopard seal, but there's the Waddell seal, the crab eater seal, and a couple of fur seals. And then, of course, trying to maximize the amount of time that we have off the ship exploring so that you could have possible encounters like this incredible humpback whale as they are migrating down and spend a lot of their season feeding there. Always whales to be seen throughout the season. Humpbacks being some of the most common, but minkies, orca, and occasionally some of the other larger blue whales, fin whales, sei whales, etc. We also have a fully inclusive kayaking program, so an opportunity to really interact with the destination. We always say this is not a place to learn how to kayak, but we are, with 2 different guides, one at the front and the back of the group. They are tandem kayaks, and we provide all of the equipment necessary to be able to participate in this program as we head out. Now, once down in Antarctica, we are a 2 landing site or 2 destination a day. Obviously, that is split between opportunities like this when you're getting out in Zodiacs to explore the incredible landscape and environment, and then obviously on land as well. Now, I'm always asked this question, so just a little bit of an idea plantation, so to speak. This is definitely one of my favorite parts of the world. It is a destination known as South Georgia, but what really makes this destination so incredible is its wildlife, but its combination of so many different elements. It's got a significant historical background. It was an important whaling station for a number of years. It is also the site where one of the great explorers of the golden age, the heroic age of exploration down in Antarctica, a gentleman by the name of Sir Ernest Shackleton, is buried. But really just a wonderful wildlife destination. Normally visited on slightly longer trips, about 15 or 18-day programs. But there is one specific niche that I really just want to bring to life for you as an incredible program and opportunity to go out and explore. And this is a niche in Antarctic travel that we as a brand have sort of owned the space. We provide the ability for more guests than any other operator to participate in this. So this is the Fly Cruise program. Essentially, you can see the program starts and finishes in a destination called King George Island, just sitting off in one of the South Shetland Islands on the peninsula. But this program is designed with 2 main focuses. This is I think, quite an exceptional image of the Drake Passage, but this for a number of people sort of gives them the shivers, and they're like, absolutely not. The Drake Shake is not something I ever want to encounter in my life, because this is the sea body of about 550 nautical miles, normally traversed over about a 2-day period in both the southbound and northbound journeys on the front and back end of either of our programs. So for those guests that are, just absolutely adamant that they don't want to be sailing across this body of water, and for those guests that might not have the time, obviously your ability to remove 4 hours of sailing and turn it into an hour and 30-minute each direction flight on these high fixed wing BAE aircraft landing on the gravel runway down in Antarctica obviously presents a wonderful opportunity to be able to get out and explore while limiting the amount of time required to get down to Antarctica before experiencing the incredible product. But I mentioned this is a niche that we really want to own. So I'm just going to introduce a quick video to talk about what we're going to be doing to really enhance this program for you, our guests.
We're going to open up a part of the world that is so difficult to explore and has so much to offer. Building at the bottom of the earth is very difficult.
I have never done anything like this before.
I have worked on some complex projects, all of them pale in comparison to this. Well, we like a challenge.
What we are trying to do as a brand is allow guests to explore and discover the world and do it in uncompromised comfort and luxury.
Antarctica is one of Silversea's flagship programs.
It allows guests to really experience the continent in a deeper, more immersive way.
Going to Antarctica is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It deserves to be visited, but it's a very difficult journey. It's very hard to get there.
Therefore, we reimagined the entire journey. We looked for opportunities to cut the journey shorter.
We realized that there was an opportunity to really enhance the pre-cruise experience. The destination drove the decision. And that's when we came up with the idea of
Building the most southern hotel in the world.
Now, for those of you that might not have been aware of this, for us as a hotel brand, or for I should say a cruise brand to be getting into the hotel space, purely for the purpose of elevating our pre and post cruise experience for our guests, should really give you an indication as to how seriously we're taking this. So yeah, it's my privilege to introduce the Cormorant at 55 South, sitting right on the shores of the Beagle Channel, and really just elevating not only the hospitality element of this entire program for our guests, but looking at what is an industry-wide travel day. It's a challenging destination to get down to the southernmost point in South America, and taking that experience and really elevating it to all things Silversea. You know, we had mentioned that SALT program as far as our culinary immersion, bringing in a Michelin-rated chef to look after integrating those flavors of Patagonia into our dining experience. And the shoreside element, obviously, still focusing on that 100% all-inclusive nature of the Silversea program and how we deliver that experience, but just a wonderful opportunity to embrace that opportunity down in Tierra del Fuego in Patagonia before the trip down to Antarctica. We're going to really elevate the shipboard experiences here, or the land-based experience for the guests. Now, as a final point, I recognize I'm very close to my time here. We have also just announced our 2027-2028 voyage collection with a number of new wonderful programs. And for those guests who have very loyally sailed with us over the last few years, really excited to be heading back into places like the Philippines and Indonesia, a full Japanese program on our expedition product and portfolio, and then out into the Great Barrier Reef as well. So, just a very quick sort of summary and exciting positioning of our product. And with that, I'd love to say thank you very much. Please feel free to reach out if you have any further questions, or we can help really dig into one of these incredible products that I mentioned today. Thank you very much.